My final adjustments while playtesting without the feeler gauge will be first to check the side bridge to see if there's play there, and then the D trill to see if there's play. If you don't have that little bit of play, you're going to have small pads standing open on your upper joint. And then the F sharp to G sharp, which is this screw here. I'll play a low C and just tap on this E flat key. If you hear the tone change, you can just slightly turn that screw. I play it nice and softly so that you can hear the tone change. If you're playing too loud, it's kind of hard to hear that tone change, and it's really hard to dial it in. At that point, I'll continue with the low C, and I'll tap the E flat. So you're playing a low C here, and then you tap the E flat to see if there's any change in the tone. If you hear a change in the tone, again, you can just slightly turn the screw. Then I'll play going to the low B flat. What I will do is play a low B flat, and with my pinky I will do this roll onto the C sharp key. And if you hear again, if you change that tone, if the tone changes, you can just very slightly move the screw until you hear it stop changing the tone. Just even turn the screw even less than when you're doing the adjustments with the feeler. Just the slightest turn will make a huge difference. So that's all the low notes, and then we'll go back up to the high notes. So I'll play a high D at this point, and tap on the side of the E key. So you don't want to actually hit right on top of the key, because the tone will obviously change, because this little hole here is venting. So you want to just play a high D and then just tap the side of the key. And if you hear a tone change, you can just ever so slightly turn the screw until you stop hearing that tone change. The same would be said for a Philly D if you had one. The screw would be right next to it, right here. Just to the point where you stop hearing the tone change, playing a high D or D flat softly. It's very easy to over adjust those adjustments. You turn the screw too far, and then your low C just isn't quite doing its job. It's not going to be covering. And at that point, I'll go, if you do have a third octave, I'll do my play test with like a high E and turn the screw on that third octave key just to the point where it helps the pitch be slightly higher, just ever so slightly higher than a high E with the regular thumb octave. If that pad is too open, I think that it has issues with having clean attacks. I'll actually do like an F sharp or a high G, super high F sharp or high G, and see how those notes, how cleanly they attack with adjusting that third octave. So that would be the last adjustment. Also, actually, I'll show you this here. When you're doing your high D and D flat, I should say, there is also the height of this key. So the D flat can be lowered with this screw. If you want to lower the pitch, you can just turn the screw tighter, and that will lower this key. So you can mess with the height of that key as well. And that's it for all of the wiggle tests. Hopefully your oboe should work better with doing these basic adjustments.